released orders for the two SMNI hosts citing humanitarian considerations. Alright, so hindi siya court order. Ito ay galing sa actually just the committee. Alright, so hindi na alam yung judiciary branch. So you see, yung itong mga technicalities na yan ay mahalaga. Alright, so yung detention nila actually ay sa ilalim ng ating legislatura, hindi po damay dito ang ating judiciary. Ang problema kasi may mga nagkakalat ng fake news, surprise, surprise, ng Sunshine Media Network International anchor sila Lorraine Badoy at si Jeffrey Celis ay na-release from detention in the House of Representatives on December 12 through a court order. Parang ibig sabihin, parang binubuli daw sila kunyari ng legislatura natin, and then pumasok itong judiciary at pinalaya ang ating mga bayani. No? Nag-prevail ang hustisya. Alright, why we fact-check this? So correct, matino itong fact-check na yan, appreciate ko yan. It's, ayon sa Rappler, is that the claim can be found in the titles of several YouTube videos, notably in video uploaded on December 12 by the channel Pinas News Insider, titled "Kakapasok lang biglang utos, walang nagawa ang Kongreso, utos ng Korte, pinalaya agad ka Eric Badoy." Ayan talaga, ang dami talaga mga fake news yan. Other YouTube channels with videos bearing similar claims. Ayan, alam na natin yan. Anong pinaggagawa nila. Ayan, X-Crew. Ang pangit naman pakinggan. Pinas Uncover News Trends. Parang kilala ko yung news trends na talaga malakas sa fake news production. Mga walang yan. Alright, the bottom line, it was a House committee, not the court, that freed Badoy and Celis from detention a week after they were held in contempt by lawmakers. O, kamusta naman yung kalagayan nila? Kamusta yung hunger strike nila? Nakita niyo ba yung itsura ni Yung itsura ni Ninoy Aquino nung hunger strike. So just to give you an idea, if you do a real hunger strike, ano magiging effect niya sa'yo? Because, at in the case of Ninoy, ang tagal yata ng hunger strike niya, di ba? How many weeks yung hunger strike niya? Grabe kasi nakita ko yung picture niya dun sa, dun sa post ng kaibigan natin, si historiador na si Xiao Chua. May pinost siya dun sa, na, yung iba dyan, wag kayo magpa-hunger strike kung hindi niya alam talaga ano to. Kasi grabe, kung talaga nag-hunger strike ka ng husto, ng 1 week, 2 weeks, or more, may mga lumalampas pa ng 1 buwan yata di ba? I mean, kaya naman ng katawan natin ng medyo matagal-tagal as long as basta may tubig, di ba? So, ito. Saan yung image nito? Kasi, ito guys, tingnan nyo naman, grabe yung itsura ni, As in, hindi mo siya ma-recognize, Actually, I didn't know na ganun kagrabe pala yung hunger strike na ginawa ni Ninoy nung panahon na yan. Ito. Grabe. Parang hindi mo siya makilala. Ay, ba't naging ganyan? Sorry. Ayusin natin. Oops. Ayan, kasi walang production team tuloy. Dapat may production team para diretso na. Ito. Okay, guys, ipopost natin yun. Grabe yun, Nakita nyo ba yan? Yung picture ni Ninoy? Yung ito? Grabe, no? Ito yung nakita ko. As in, parang hindi mo siya ma-recognize, di ba? Parang sobrang iba talaga yung itsura niya. Don't worry, yung mga ka-spacer tsaka YouTube natin, ipopostin natin itong copy ng video na yan kasi yung OBS ko, ginagamit ko lang dito sa Facebook Hindi sa lahat ng platforms. Alam nyo man, kailangan natin play safe. I mean, like, hindi siya recognizable, di ba? Kasi yung Ninoy na alam natin, ganito yung itsura, di ba? Di ba? Ganito yung itsura. Parang layo, di ba? So, kung talaga mag-hunger strike ka ng big time, na you go all in, grabe, your physiognomy is gonna be unrecognizable almost. Alright? Ito, di ba? So, parang the Ninoy that we know, it looks like that. And then, nung nag-hunger strike siya, almost totally unrecognizable. Di ba? Parang two different people ang tinitignan mo dito. Grabe. So, I mean, just giving you an idea, guys. I mean, hindi dapat, you don't take lightly yung mga terms like hunger strike. Because this is something very deep, profound, and spiritual. Something very deep, very profound, and spiritual. So, yung pong tinitingnan natin. Kasi kung talaga mag-hunger strike ka, dapat handa ka na to go all the way. Yeah, literally buwis buhay siya. Diba? Literally buwis buhay siya. Very risky yan. So, I don't know kung ano ba yung kalagayan nila, pero pinalaya daw yung mga yan, yung mga quote-unquote journalists na yan dahil medyo ano daw, on humanitarian conditions or reasons. Now, speaking of humanitarian conditions or reason, let's talk about human rights because of course isa sa mga pinakamalaking concern laban sa mga quote-unquote journalists na yan ay yung kanilang track record of red tagging people right and left, including of course people close to yung ating former colleague na si Atom Araulio, ginawa kong Marcos Aurelius. Atom Araulio and also former congressman and longtime journalist, veteran journalist si Teddy Casino, no? So both sila now nagsampa sila ng kaso laban sa mga quote-unquote red taggers na yan na buti pa sila may humanitarian conditions sa kanila. Pero kung yung mga tinired tag nila, kamusta naman? Okay, so si former Bayan Muna Representative Teddy Casino on Monday filed a 2 million pesos civil suit against former anti-insurgency task force spokesperson Lauren Badoy, si ka Jeffrey Celis. Okay, bakit Eric ang sinabi ko? Wait lang labas natin itong dalawa na to, both na nagreklamo sa kanya. Ito. Ito. Okay, so tulad ng nakita nyo, dalawa sila dito. Okay. So, purong 2 million peso. Parang ito na yata ang ngayon Kasi alam niyo naman, yung red tagging na yan, parang hindi pa siya legally speaking, in a clear-cut sense, a criminal thing, no? So ang ginawa nila ngayon is to take the civil suit, the kind of a damages civil suit kind of route. We'll have more discussions with the legal experts on this issue. So now you have essentially 4 million pesos, no? That these people will have to, well, at least in the case of Badoy, has to pay if ever found guilty siya. In both cases, and I'm not sure that this is going to be the last of it. So this legal action ayon kay Casino is long overdue since 2020. These two characters talaga, character talaga, no? Parang cartoons aided and abetted by the NTF LCAC National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, have been falsely, maliciously, and repeatedly accusing me of being involved in terrorism, rebellion, and other crimes as a supposed high-ranking official of the CPP, NPA, NDF. Alright? Ayon sa kanya, they have been consistently spewing lies, aspersions, inciting ridicule and hate against me, my family, my fellow activists, and our legitimate political beliefs and activities. Lorraine calls me a communist terrorist even if I'm not involved, no, in the armed struggle, don't espouse the violent overthrow of the state, nor incite or recruit people to do so. Ayon sa kanya, the right tagging continued when Laban para sa Bayan, an Smni television program, started in July 19, 2021, where even his stay at his home province was branded as a covert act of the CPP-NPA. Aba, meron parang program na ganyan, Laban para sa Bayan? Ay, ibang klase naman to. Sabi ni Casino, as a leftist activist, I have been called many things by many detractors, but to be falsely and repeatedly accused of being a high-ranking official of an organization designated by the Anti-Terrorism Council as a terrorist organization and accused of orchestrating the death of thousands of the destruction of the country is just too much. Alright, bastusan na to kumaga. Sabi ni Casino, by crossing the line, etong mga to have repeatedly committed abuses in the exercise of their right, thereby causing injury and damages. So si Casino is asking the Makati court to issue a cease and desist order from red tagging him in order to pay damages for the following: moral damages of 1,100,000, exemplary damages of 500 pesos, nominal damages of 500,000 pesos, and attorney's fee of no less than 100,000 pesos and cost of the suit, right? But ayon sa sinabi natin, ito yung first time na nagkaroon ng civil suit laban sa dalawang quote-unquote journalists from a quote-unquote media channel. On July 20, broadcast journalist, my former colleague in GMA Network, Atom Araulio, also filed a civil suit against these two individuals, characters, personalities, quote-unquote journalists. Ito ay dahil yung kanyang ina, Bayan Chair Emeritus Dr. Carol Aurelio also filed a separate civil suit against Badoy and Celis. Sought for comment, sabi ni Celis, he branded yung mga case na ito as pure harassment. Siya pang nako-complain. Siya pang victim. Siya pa, ayun tayo eh. Siya pa ang victim. Yan talagang minamahal talaga natin sa Pilipinas eh. Siya pa ang victim, di ba? Siya pa ang victim. Okay, sabi niya, hindi ako natakot na harapin ang kanyang civil and damages case. This is purely harassment and pananakot for me and Dr. Lorraine Badoy. Yan, dun sa mga hindi marunong magtagalog katulad natin, ang ibig sabihin niyan, I am not afraid to face his civil and damages case. This is purely harassment and intimidation for me and Dr. Lorraine Badoy. Alright, interesting. Very interesting. And dumadami ng mga trolls natin dyan sa YouTube. Welcome to the discussions. Okay, now, speaking of pa-victim, I found something very interesting a while ago over my email. I don't know, all sorts of groups add me to their email list without my permission and send me weird stuff. Don't worry, not that kind of weird stuff, more of like geopolitical weird stuff. And then bigla nakita ko, ito, speaking of biglang naging victim pa, nakita ko bigla kanina, may sinend pa sila na isang artikulo, supposedly by an expert daw, no? May an expert daw, ng Asian Century Think Tank. Ayan na naman tong mga to, ayan na naman sila. Etong batang-bata pa, expert na, ayan. Ang title ng article na yan ay Philippines provoke China's water cannoning at Ayungin Shoal. Like, this is just so ridiculous. This is just so dumb. I'm sorry to say that, it's not even worth reading. But I'm not totally surprised at all na may mga kaibigan tayo, yan, makapili, na ang sinasabing parang Pilipinas pang may kasalanan for detentions that is brewing in the South China Sea. Let me be absolutely clear. That's classic gaslighting. To say that the Philippines is creating trouble by asserting its own rights, sovereign rights, legitimate rights based on prevailing international law, to say that yun yung mali, yun yung provocation. I mean, that's the term they use, provoke, no? That's ridiculous, but actually it's worse than ridiculous. You know what I'm gonna say, right? But I'm not gonna say it, but you know what I'm gonna say. Basta, makapili. Alright, so for me, it's ridiculous. Only in a country like the Philippines, you're gonna find people, so-called experts, so-called think tanks, right? Ang naman mga quote-and-quote parang SMN. Ang Pilipinas pang sinisisi for rising